Brian Zane here. This is the new and improved, at least for now, Smackdown review, and you might notice it's a little bit different. Might look a little bit different, sound a little bit different. I am here, and I am live and in living color. This is the first live Smackdown review I have done for the YouTube channel, and we are just going to try and see how it all plays out. This is the dawn of a brand new age, folks. I have Ethernet hooked up to this office now, and so that's the plan. This is the beginning of something where I want to try and bring in opportunity for more live streams, different kind of live streams. Ideally, I would like to do all the weeklies and all the pay-per-view reviews live from now on in this format. That would it's mostly kind of a time-saving factor for me. A lot of post-production gets involved with the videos and stuff, and so I at least want to keep Smackdowns live because I value my Friday nights and I want to try and get done with work at a decent time. That's kind of why we're doing this here. I have Ethernet here for the first time, and so my mind is alive with possibilities for how we want to implement my new fully operational battle station here. So thank you for coming along with me on this journey. We're going to see how this goes. If you like the live reviews, let me know. We'll keep doing them. And if not, maybe we'll just stick with, the pre-taped Raws and Wednesday Warfares and Smackdowns. Keep them live for now. Thank you to all who are watching. Let me just scroll up here and get a look at the view count. We're at 45 right now. Let me take a little bit of time to get people in here. Excuse me. Oh, a little spit bubble in my mouth there. Live TV, folks. Live YouTube. You love to see it. Yeah, they legit aired a whole pay-per-view match on SmackDown. It's a work in progress, folks. I've got kind of like a bare bones graphical setup here with the SmackDown review, trying to keep it to how it used to look on YouTube. And so I've got the results down here at the bottom. Tells you all you need to know, but I'll try and fill in the blanks as we go on. So why don't I open my channel member option? What is that? Is it a bird? I'm gonna start here, and maybe someone can fill me in on the chat. But we are gonna have some fun with this one today. As much fun as we can have with this episode of SmackDown. It wasn't very good. Spoiler alert. Show opens with Miz TV. Well, actually, what I liked about the opening was it starts out with Miz TV. Miz and Morrison are in the ring, and they're dancing to the AC/DC track, the theme, and it'll cut to them and then show a match card. You think it's their time? Nope, not their time yet. We're gonna go talk about some other matches as this goes on. So then they come out, and their guest is Jeff Hardy. And during the introduction, Miz and Morrison, particularly Morrison, are taking the piss, and they're just kind of making fun of Jeff and all his shortcomings and his faults and everything. So last week, Jeff beat up Sheamus's personal bartender. Sheamus did a Zoom call for the toast that he had been spending weeks advertising. He didn't even show up in person for it. Kind of what a heel. What a heel that Sheamus is. So Miz and Morrison, I love the bit here where they're like, do you have a clip? Do we have a clip? Can we show a clip? And they both simultaneously say it. I mean, I'm going to keep saying this a lot in the course of this review, but I love Miz and Morrison's shtick right now. I was kind of complaining a couple of weeks ago. It's like, well, they're jesters now. They're just a joke. So, I mean, yeah, you can do that, but then to put them in that Universal title match, I thought was a bit ridiculous. So they are, I think Miz and Morrison, their shtick here was good, and Jeff was kind of deadpanning them. That was pretty funny. So there's a highlight package of, Jeff's redemption, which we've seen 100 times. Then it shows a Backlash how he lost to Sheamus, and they show the recap of the toast and everything. And Miz says, Jeff Hardy, always the rule breaker, with a big cheesy smile. Excuse me there. Cameron Andrews with a $6.99 Canadian super chat. What kind of match do you think the SmackDown tag title match will be at Extreme Rules? I guess if we're jumping ahead here, I'd say a table match based on what we saw, but we'll get back to that. We'll circle back to that. So anyway, Hardy wants to beat Sheamus and put his past behind him, and he also has a really nice, uplifting kind of part at the end of his speech, how he wants to be a beacon for those and who are going through these struggles and everything. It does, however, ring very similar to something he said in one of his first promos back on TV. So maybe not that commendable. It's let's just copy and paste this promo here. So very uplifting message from Jeff. Miz and Morrison want Jeff to fight Sheamus in a bar fight. And I love Morrison's line here. It's your physical opponent, Sheamus, and your metaphorical opponent, alcohol, fighting them at the same time. God, it's so brilliant. I was loving that stuff. And so, although then Jeff has to go and do the polar opposite of cool and funny by referring to Sheamus as the Celtic Butthole. Yes, folks, put that on a t-shirt. The Celtic Butthole. It's still not as bad as Sparkle Crotch, though. I'd say Sparkle Crotch is probably the worst. Let me know what you think. What's the worst insult nickname you've ever heard in wrestling? Let me know in the comments section. I'll try and read some of them off. But yeah, Sparkle Crotch is probably the worst for me. Niall Witherspoon with a $19.99 super chat. Should Randy Orton win the 24/7 title? I think that, I don't know if that would hurt Orton or help the belt more, honestly. I think that would really, it would diminish Orton entirely if he won that belt. Do you remember when they tried to build Riddick Moss for 2 weeks? And then they went absolutely nowhere? Man, bad timing for Riddick Moss. They killed your push due to COVID as soon as you showed up. So that's my answer. Thank you for that super chat, by the way, Niles. That was great. Thank you very much. Tater Tots, that's a good insult. That's a really good one. The Suffering Sasquatch? You mean Succotash. Autocorrect. Let's just say that. Yeah, but Celtic Butthole is definitely up there with Sparkle Crotch. Is one of my worst. JRC, $5 super chat. Can't stay. I have work early. Just want to say I appreciate your hard work. Thank you, JRC. The Celtic Butthole. Anyway, so we go to our match now. It's Jeff Hardy and Miz. He basically takes a shot at Miz and Morrison and everything. Go to commercial break, come back. It's Jeff Hardy and Miz. Peak 2020 content is this, folks. Although I will have to say, before the match began, we got a tease for Raw the next week, and they're building up the women's tag title match, and they go, the obnoxious Sasha Banks and Bella. The obnoxious! Like, on their programming, I love that the announcer, the voiceover guy, who's supposed to be, like, in theory, he's supposed to be objective, was given the line, the obnoxious Sasha Banks and Bailey. Whisker Biscuit. Oh, that was a good one. The Rock calling Goldberg Whisker Biscuit. Bath Turd. 2 people wrote Bath Turd, the Bobby Lashley one. So yeah, the match happens. It's going well for Jeff and everything. He's got the big comeback. And then all of a sudden, Sheamus Zoom calls his way in on the big screen again. He's describing the pint of Guinness he's having. Oh, the hops and barley just roll off the tongue. That line was clearly written by a man who's either never had beer before or has never had to articulate why he likes alcohol. Darnell Willison, $2 super chat. 10 out of 10, the worst wrestling insult is biscuit butt. Yeah, Mickey James calling Alexa Bliss biscuit butt. And then, like, Alexa owned it, which totally, like, killed the impact of that insult to begin with. So, the hops and barley just roll off the tongue. Yeah, that was a shit line from Sheamus. And so then Miz tries to go for the sneak win, but it backfires. Jeff rolls him up to win, and then, like, Jeff is staring down a hole at the screen where Sheamus is, and Sheamus just reacts like an NPC. Yeah, good job there. Clearly not live. It's so obvious when those things on screen are not live. Somebody says the worst SmackDown of the year. We'll see about that. The Captain, $4.99 super chat. This person says, I think you should go with a mix of whichever review style fits how you're feeling and what your schedule looks like. Thank you for that input there. I really appreciate that. Slapnuts is a goat insult. I can't knock on Slapnuts. Thunderburger. Who said Thunderburger? The Sheamus and the beer thing, though, reminds me of something I saw. I want to say it was either Reddit or it was like the old Wrestle Crap forums. It became fan forums. It might have been too recent for the fan forums that I was on there, but someone was like, like, oh, here's a good way to push Sheamus, like have him cut a promo in a bar where he's got the Guinness and he's got the hat and he wants to buck stereotypes, and somebody rightly points out, yeah, have a promo about bucking stereotypes when he's drinking Guinness in a bar, and then the prophecy's been realized. Ever since then, I gotta catch up on a couple of these super chats. Don't mind me. Now the scroll button's not working. Thanks for selling me out, scroll button. Maka International, £2 super chat, a 2-hour show and only 4 matches. I've seen worse. I've seen a worse ratio than that. Azo Smith, $4.99 super chat. Banks and Bailey have been the MVPs. Everything they touch seems to turn into gold. That I will agree with. Where was I? We got an interview with Shinsuke and Cesaro is insulted by Sarah Schreiber's, insinuation that them beating the New Day last couple weeks was a fluke. It is not a fluke, so they say. And they are going to, they're sick. I love Cesaro. I'm sick of the New Day, and they're gyrating. and their happiness. That wasn't an exact quote, but like them being happy all the time. Ooh, happy people! I hate that. We have to crush them. So then they say they're going to be the tag team champions, but the New Day won't change because they never change. So it was a bit of a burn. Born Sinner, 199 super chat. Popcorn fart wasn't one of the Rock's greatest insults. Yeah, he tried to get a popcorn fart chant going. I believe that was on one of the draft episodes. No, I know that on one of the drafts he tried to start a back and forth chant with the crowd where he goes, I like to spank my monkey. I like to spank my monkey. No, it was you are an asshole. I'm getting cross-threaded from a joke I read where somebody wrote, he could say I like to spank my monkey, and it would. This is why live TV might be detrimental to me. Someone just jumping in on the live stream just as I'm saying the wrong chant. Anyway, our next match, non-title affair, as Sasha Banks and Bayley take on Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Can't get enough of that match, folks. Just can't get enough of it. I can watch it every week. Apparently they can. So I thought it was, Bayley, or I should say Nikki, getting into Bayley's head with the championship belt, dancing around with it and stuff. It ends with Bayley pinning Nikki with some dirty heel work, grabbing the ropes and everything. Yeah, match is okay. I missed last week's SmackDown, but I know they cut a promo leading to a singles match. So, I feel, though, even if I watched that promo last week, I'd probably be of the opinion that I think that of the two women's title programs we're getting right now, the SmackDown one's a bit undercooked. Bayley is the SmackDown Women's Champion, but the emphasis has been all on her and Sasha as a duo. And then I think the focus, or the meat of what they've really been getting, has been all Raw stuff. I feel it's been, heavily focused on Asuka and whatnot. Because I'm trying to watch both shows and everything, and I'm seeing I'm not as excited about, say, Nikki Cross going after Bayley than I am Asuka and Sasha having a match on Raw. And so, yeah, I think that the focus is more on Sasha and Bayley as a duo, and then Sasha and Asuka. Then in third place is Bayley and Nikki. They got more, I think they've had more exposure and they've gotten better rub when they were on NXT than when they've been on SmackDown as of late. Will I review Slammiversary? Probably not. Sorry. They replayed the Strowman-Bray match for Money in the Bank in its entirety. Whoop-de-doo. I thought the match was okay. The first time I saw it, I had no intention of watching it again. I thought we were past the point now where they were just straight up replaying pay-per-view matches from earlier. That was the first thing they did, when they started doing the empty arena shows, was the stopgap. We gotta fill time. Let's just show the whole ass Royal Rumble. Let's kill some time that way. And that worked at first. And then they got their feet under them and they started, doing more live stuff than the pre-taped. And I guess it's okay. I mean, I don't know. They're only human. I don't expect them to be constantly live and new and innovative all the time, but when they do the live stuff, they should try and work at it, which they didn't do this week. So yeah, they replayed the whole Braun-Bray match, and that was their build for the week for the Swamp match. Last week, I think it was a promo with Braun, and then we saw some Swamp footage interspersed into that. Excuse me, I'm going to have to mute someone because somebody keeps wanting me to say something, and I'm just going to put you in timeout for a couple minutes. Think about what you did. Go to the P corner. So, where are we now? We get a New Day promo backstage, which is one of my favorite parts of the show because they managed to slip in a Dennis Green reference from 14 years ago. That was the date. Dennis Green was the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals back in 2006, and they blew a big game against the Bears, and he famously said, "They are who we thought they were. If you want to crown them, crown their ass. You let them off the hook." And they seamlessly integrated that in the promo. And they integrated a Dennis Green callback from 14 years ago and a line from the Black National Anthem in their promo. So that was very cool. It was very dynamic. I really liked that a lot. What am I drinking? Just Diet Dr. Pepper. I haven't gone back and got the cream soda yet. Richie the Wolf with a $5 super chat. What are my thoughts on heel versus heel matches and storylines? We see face versus face, but how come we don't get more heel versus heel? Because with heel versus heel, sometimes it's kind of a no-win situation, and you don't know who to cheer for. Whereas the babyface thing, you're more likely to cheer for both of them. and get into it that way. If it's heel versus heel, I've been in situations where there's been heel versus heel matches. They suck. Like, on the independent level, I've been a part of them. I've managed a heel versus heel match, and it was fucking dreadful. So I don't... And, you know, that was many years ago, and I think that, you know, if WWE does it, it's usually at least performed a bit better, but it was just... It's a hard one to... It's a hard one to do. It's like a babyface manager. You just don't see those kind of things very often. Darnell Willison with another $2 super chat. Brian saying his live is better than SmackDown taped. Thank you, with all my ums and ers. Thank you, Darnell. I really appreciate that. Yes, there is a Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. I remember singing that for choir in middle school, and that was the last time I ever performed it. So, but it exists. It exists out there. Go look it up. Go listen to it if you have. It's a very beautiful song. Then we get, after the great promo from the New Day, we then get the worst segment I've seen all year with these empty arena shows. It is the Karaoke Showdown with Naomi, Tamina, Lacey Evans, and Dana Brooke. I said them all without having to look down my notes. Yes. It was emceed by Jey Uso, and I guess this is what we get now, because we can't have bikini contests. That's the world we live in today. No more bikini contests, only karaoke showdowns. Now, as someone who's a karaoke aficionado like myself, I do, you know, this insulted me. This hurt me on a personal level. How they ruined the good name of karaoke with this. Because you had the ladies singing songs from theme songs. You had Lacey Evans sing With My Baby Tonight. She starts out a third sharp, a whole third, before she settles back down, and then she botches the words at the end. Marcus Ryan, $5 super chat. Imagine if Jillian Hall came out during the... Yes! If Jillian Hall came out during that segment, that would have saved the segment. Yes! Something that justifies the karaoke theme and motif. Bring Jillian out there. Absolutely. I would have said that would have saved the segment if she had showed up there. So then Lacey does With My Baby Tonight. Then Dana Brooke does Honky Tonk Man. And that's why she was practicing the twist earlier, backstage. Azo Smith. Look at Naomi's face. She knew this was bad. Yes, she did. Thank you for the $2 super chat, by the way. Then Tamina is given fucking Triple H's theme song, which is not fair, because it begins with time to play the game, hoo hoo hoo, and then like a full like 2 bars of like nothing, and they gotta sing, and then they shouldn't even get that chance, because Jay cut Dana off, Jay cut Tamina off even sooner. Conspiracy 515 super chat $10. How do I feel about Keith winning the NXT Championship from Adam Cole Bebe? Like I said at Wednesday Warfare, I loved it, so I think it was a great thing there. And by the way, if you haven't seen Wednesday Warfare, check it out. Did Corny and I ever make up? No, we did not. But it's fine. It's fine. I really don't care. People keep asking me about that, like, oh, have you and Corny made up? Or people will tweet Jim Cornette, have you unblocked? I appreciate the sentiment, but I just really don't care. He can go on and live his life the way he wants. So then Naomi sings Dusty Rhodes' theme, which, by the way, is the only theme the women were given that was sung by a woman, so she had the advantage there. And then she couldn't even get that right. You'd think... I assume they play Dusty Rhodes' American Dream theme just on a loop at the Performance Center, just like for basic training. Just because they have to be kind of like pounded into your head, Dusty is the oak! And so I figured they would just have that shit down, and Naomi didn't. But she won the karaoke sing-off by popular vote. Although, if I'm being honest, I would have given it to Dana Brooke just because of the choreography. Like, she was getting it. Like, she couldn't sing, but okay, whatever. It's all about the energy. It's all about the energy you put out. It's like wrestling. The wrestling skill has so little to do with it compared to the showmanship. So that's why Dana Brooke, I think, was my winner. So then afterward, you've got Lacey Evans being a sore loser. Is this her heel turn? Because she just jumps Naomi. And then the shoes come off, and then after the break, we have a match with Lacey and Naomi. And then, like, they're wrestling, and, like, Lacey's got to work in the big poofy dress, so I guess props to her for that. So then it ends on the outside, like, Dana Brooke gets in Lacey's face. This is not who you are. Well, who is she then? How is this not who she is? So, this is not who you are. They all get in the ring, and they start fighting, and the match is thrown out. So what the fuck was any of this for? What was the meaning of any of that? The karaoke thing only served to embarrass all 4 of the ladies involved, because none of them are singers, and none of them really have the chops. And then in particular to embarrass Tamina. But it looked like she and Jay were kind of having good fun over it. Like Jay was definitely having a good time razzing Tamina. And I know they're very good friends from what we've been able to deduce. The Lion Drive, 499 Super Chat. Karaoke segment, easily the worst segment of the year on SmackDown. Yes, it was. Groove Master Dre, who's a Patreon backer, by the way, with a $5 Super Chat. Awesome review on Hardcore Justice. Thank you, Groove Master Dre. If you haven't seen that review, by the way, that came out this week, so check that out. Hardcore Justice 2010. Then, yeah. Anyway, the whole thing was dumb. Every bit of it was dumb. The beginning, the middle, and the end. So that's going to be the genesis of Lacey's renewed heel turn, and then, I guess, a program is karaoke. Like I said, as a karaoke fanatic, this one kind of hurt my soul. And, I don't know. Oh, God. That's what Azo Smith, 499 Super Chat. I don't know how they look at Naomi and don't see Star. Her return to the Rumble was great. Makes no sense. They took the title off her when she put the glow on it. Yeah, that was a missed opportunity to try and market the glowing women's championship. And, yeah, like, they missed on a big opportunity. Naomi went viral when she came back at the Rumble. And, like, people who didn't give a shit about wrestling were in awe of her. Like, that's your moment. Grab a hold of that and don't let go, man. Capitalize on that. And they didn't. So, thank you for all the super chats, guys. You were awesome. Thank you so much. I think I've gotten everyone read. Yeah. Karaoke was shit. I would love to do, like, yeah, that's what I miss the most about the pandemic and everything being closed. Karaoke's never going to be the same. You cannot do karaoke in a pandemic environment. Social distancing and it doesn't work. It does not work. And so, I'm bummed about that. I think more than anything. The wrestling and the karaoke, those two combined are the things I'm missing the most in the wake of this pandemic. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I have some time and I have some gumption, I'll sing a couple songs. We go to backstage. Intercontinental Champion AJ Styles. He says nobody can touch him. No one's worthy to challenge the Phenomenal One. And then Sarah Schreiber tells him that Matt Riddle will challenge him next week for the title. And he goes, who do you ever beat? And then he said, well, he beat you 2 weeks ago. It was a rhetorical question, you smart aleck. Ooh, I'm going to get him. His frostbitten feet. So, by the way, the AJ Styles one's a new one I'm kind of tinkering with here. It really made its debut in Hardcore Justice. Main event time. Smackdown Tag Team Championships as the New Day defend against Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, I was going to roll with that one. Yeah, I miss Nakamusev. I think I miss Nakamusev most of all. So the Artist Collective have had New Day's number the last couple of weeks in tag and singles action. So will their number come up tonight? It's a good enough match, but it ends in a DQ when all four guys are in the ring and they start brawling, so it's no contest. And then Cesaro and Sheamus pull out a table. They powerbomb Kofi from the top through it, and they stand tall. And that pretty much is a dead giveaway, like tables match happening at Extreme Rules with these two teams. So that was probably the most pay-per-view build we saw in the entire show was the end. And maybe the beginning if you count the Jeff Hardy thing. Jack Rudy, $9.99 Super Chat. Want to give something for all the great content and also have a feeling you're around my age because you have almost all the same wrestling experiences as me. Thanks again. Well, I was born in 85 and I started watching wrestling in 98. So that is my timeline, essentially. And I've done a little bit of background research since then, but I think I'm more well-versed in things after 98 than before. So that was how the show ended, folks. That was, like, pay-per-view? What pay-per-view? Was the best thing I could say about this show. So with the results done, let's show the grade. Bing, bang, boom. I give it a D. The only things I really liked about this show were the beginning with The Miz and Morrison being absolute goofballs, and then to an extent, Jeff and Miz, I guess. And then, again, the New Day promo, I would say. It was a bad SmackDown. Worst of the year, some people are saying in the chats. I don't know if I agree because I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I have such a limited memory of like the really bad shit. I just kind of like it. I delete it and I move on. So there's probably bad ones that have happened this year, but I only started covering SmackDown like a couple months ago. So you have to forgive me on that one. CW Superman $4.99 Super Chat. Love you, Zane. Love the channel, but I gotta work early. Thank you. F you. Good night. Thank you for watching. Darnell Willison with $5 Super Chat. WWE should rely more on its older content. The roster being gutted is damaging the shows, and there's other ways to progress stories in live segments. those are two different sounding things you brought up, because I would say that WWE is at its best when it doesn't constantly reference the past. I really wanted to do a video about this, but I've never had the opportunity or been able to articulate the argument and really expand it into a full video. But I think, you know, I believe that WWE, you know, I think the reason the Attitude Era was so successful and was so good for it was because they eschewed everything about the past. They made no reference to the past of the people of yesteryear, and even to the point where they weren't really dogging WCW and, like, you know, Huckster and Nacho Man. Like, they grew out of that phase and we're just like, we're gonna just bear forward, we're gonna push all our guys, talk about the youth, talk about the future, and not even talk about our past. That they would do occasional, like, they'd throw some bones, and like when they were like doing some B pay-per-views, you know, like the Legends thank yous, like in St. Louis and like in Milwaukee, they would do some like Legends, you know, parades, but that was about it. And like they never really, like, they really didn't talk about the past, their past, or anything like that. And every other time where it's like bad is like, look at our history, look at all this history we have in the past and everything. And I think that when they're focused on the present and the future and they don't talk about the past, that's when they really excel, in my opinion. My cons, you know, yeah, that's kind of like a wishy-washy one where it's like, do I give it a con? Because I don't think I gave the match replays cons at the beginning, or maybe I stopped after a while, but this one I give it a good. Excuse me. Do I see NXT throwing pot shots at AEW? Like, I don't know. I think the biggest one was the Hall of Fame last year, honestly. So yeah, I don't know how I'm trying to articulate that point, but yeah, I think that, like, it's an issue of finding that balance of the past and the present, obviously, but I think the present needs to take precedent. Every time the past has been glorified, it just, it's not that great. So yeah, not a great show, not a very auspicious debut for the live SmackDown review to have to review that piece of crap episode. What pay-per-view was there? I just, is there a show? I don't know. It's hard to tell because of what they did and did not promote on this one. Thoughts on Shayna Baszler not being on TV? Yeah, it's too bad. Oh snap, I missed a super chat when I was going on my rant. I gotta go back. I have to go back to the future. God bless it, you friggin' scrollies. Thank you all for watching. We're at 569 purples right now. Azo Smith 499 super chat. Sasha's gotta start putting interest on Cole every time he calls something that's not a Meteora. It's like her move at this point. Yeah, I was so shocked when I first saw Aleister Black do the Meteora. I'm like, that's Sasha's move. What the fuck's Aleister Black doing using the Meteora? That's not right. What happened to Otis and Mandy? Good question. They've really not focused on them in a while, it feels like. What's the Miz's best match? Oh. He had a match, I want to say last year with Seth for the Intercontinental Championship. That was really good. I think it was last year or it was 2 years ago. If I could stream wrestling games again, that'd be cool. Yes, the plan is I want to start streaming more from here. I wasn't ready. I didn't have the equipment to start doing live video game streams here, but that is the goal. I just got Virtual Pro Wrestling, and it works. I got a working copy, and I'm getting Virtual Pro 2 as well in the mail, so we can start doing some of that. I'm really excited for that. Miz Ziggler No Mercy was also a great match, and that's the one I was there for live. I was in Sacramento, what I want to say was 2016. Yeah, 2016 is when it happened, and so that was really fun to be there live for that. I remember very vividly, Ziggler made his entrance first, and he was getting like a preemptive standing ovation, because if it was his last time, so I get the standing. I was part of that too. I was doing that, and Jay Biggs, who was with me at the time, just looks at me like, bro, it's like, he's gonna win, man. Azo Smith, $2 super chat. Literally just remembered he's the Money in the Bank holder. Yeah, like, this feels like everything is just doesn't matter anymore. Everything feels like it's not important, and no more does that feel true than with Otis right now. Like, I feel they kind of gave it to him as like a shot, like, hey, yeah, let's fucking give it the belt. We'll give it to Otis. What's the worst that could happen? And now they've done it, and they don't know what to do. So, like, I would much rather he just cash it in, or he just fucking lose it. He just like loses it in a sandwich somewhere, and the sandwich is thrown away. Like, oh no, Ducky, my sandwich, and something like that. Than him just carrying it, and not doing anything with it. Is Alexa Bliss going to cost Nikki the title of the pay-per-view? They haven't teased a breakup yet, and they didn't break up last year like I thought they were going to, so why start now? We'll be getting a video on Raven and the Flock. Oh, I should... Oh, God, that would be a fun video to rank all of Raven's stables because he's had so damn many of them. He had the Flock. He had serotonin. I was about to call it melatonin. He had serotonin. He was part of EV 2.0, even though it wasn't the leader. He had the Deadpool. He had Dark Carnival. He's had so many stables. That's like the go-to thing. I think Raven is that perfect archetypal, like, catch-all character that resonates with the youth and, like, the cult of personality thing. It's like him and CM Punk are always, like, the go-to people when talking about, like, wrestling stable leaders. Oh no, did I just get oh no my sandwich tucky going? Yes, a lot of them are sitting out as precaution. It is what it is. What to talk about now? Like I haven't had enough foresight or forethought to come up with a good way to wrap this up. Should have lost the briefcase to Dolph Ziggler. I thought you said in Dolph Ziggler. No, it made more sense if Otis lost it in himself, like in one of his folds or something. And that's mean. I shouldn't say that. SummerSlam 04 review sometime. Yeah, I'm sure there are going to be a couple of classic SummerSlams. I'm sectioning off August for classic SummerSlams. It's all you're going to see in the month of August. There's 2 definitely, and maybe 3 because of the way my scheduling worked out. It's like, oh, I'm going to not have, like, there's going to be a span where I'm just not going to have, like, the classic for, like, 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So I'm like, do I throw another one in there? That's just more work. We'll see. How would I book FTR versus the Bucks? I just let them go at it. Let them call it in the ring. And let them call it themselves, and we'll just have a fun time watching that. SummerSlam 98... will probably be, I'm not going to say any more beyond that. But what grade do you want to give SmackDown this week? I gave it a D, as you see here. Just post some grades here. Yeah, and let's come back to this. I think we'll do some Raw review live like this, and we'll see where it goes. This is, oh, here we go. Joe Mayer's $5 super chat. Keep it up, little emoji. Flexing weights, thank you, I appreciate that. As far as like other things I want to do with these streams, this is not going to be like a news and rumors stream. Like, it's not going to be results and also like here's the scoop. I don't like working in wrestling news and dealing with that. I don't think I ever have. Like, there's been some like breaking news things I'll occasionally chime in about, but like I know that other channels do that, and that's their bread and butter, and that's their thing. I'll let Going in Raw and Cultaholic and Wrestle Talk cover the news and stuff, the news of the day. That's their thing. They're doing it great. I don't want to touch that. That's just not my thing. So this is going to be just strictly, show results, my take on it, me cracking wise occasionally, and answering questions. What happened to the game streams? They will come back. I mean, that was probably the biggest casualty of the pandemic was the game streams because, kids are home all the time. I'm not going to be able to, have my space to stream. And now that I have, like I mentioned, the aforementioned Ethernet in here in the office is going to do wonders, and I think will open up a lot more chances. I was like this close to streaming Virtual Pro today, but then I had other things I had to work on that were probably more pressing for my time. So the goal, and maybe I'll do game stream starting next week. That's kind of the goal, is to get back to it. So yeah, this was the first ever SmackDown live review. Let me know what you thought about that. And let's do it again next week, and maybe just kind of expand and creep out into the Raws and the Wednesday shows. Game streams will come back. We're going to do some things where I want to have guests on for some interviews and for some live streams and maybe some watch-alongs. There's a certain show that I was trying to promote for WrestleMania weekend that never happened, and so now I would love to try and do that and take that into a live venue online, or maybe as live, kind of a pre-taped thing. That is the goal. There's a lot of things going on here, percolating and bubbling and brewing. That's the goal, though. Now we are live here in the office, and things are going to be changing around here but you'll still get your Wednesday videos, you know, pre-taped, pre-packaged for you. And yeah, it might open up the door for some more stuff, more kayfabe kitchens, maybe more, who knows. There's a lot of things that are on the table here. So until then, folks, thank you very much for watching the very first live on YouTube SmackDown Live review. Not a dropped frame in the house, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't have done this on Wi-Fi, that's for sure. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for your support. Go to patreon.com/wrestlingwithregret if you want to help give back monetarily to the channel. Lots of perks therein. ProWrestlingTees.com/wrestlingwithregret. You can get all your Wrestling With Regret shirts there, including the new If You're Some Karate, and also Like What You Like, Don't Be a Dick. I'm still getting used to the mirror effect of this camera here. And then, of course, I Regret Nothing in 4 fabulous colors. Wash Up is a brand new one. Well, not brand new. It's relatively new as well. There's a lot of different designs out there. Somebody bought the High Flyers for the first time ever, so that was kind of nice. It only took 3 years. But it was a lot of fun doing this, folks. Can't